Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Battery's running low. It's not taking the charge anymore. Alright, anyway. assholeconsulting.com, brought to you by glorioushat.com. If you want one of these nice glorious hats, it's wintertime, go there. Are you having sponsors? No, don't worry, these won't be sponsored. I'm helping out a buddy. Basically, if you're a good conservative, libertarian, Republican type guy or gal, go get this hat. Go to glorioushat.com. It's nice and warm. It unties down. It goes, but then there's placards that are put in the thing. Anyway, this has nothing to do with it. Let's get to come on. What kind of professional are you? Hello, Aaron. I'm a 16-year-old guy from Australia. I need some advice that has sort of caused a lot of controversy in my household. Ever since I turned 14, my parents have been forcing my ass to get a job. I can understand the reason why they would want me to get a job, but when I was trying to get one and applying at places, I kept getting shot down every time. So about 9 months ago, I got an email from a fast food restaurant to come in and do an interview. I really didn't want to go work at a shitty fast food place, but my dad started yelling at me and threatened to hit me if I didn't. We should start. I know I'm not a big fan of the anti-spank movement. The reason I'm not a big fan is because I haven't looked into it, and I don't know. I just haven't researched it. So I'm going to kind of stay. I'm prone to stick with my old position that some kids need to be spanked. But these people where they outright abuse you, I think me and Stefan Molyneux should get like a brigade of assassins together and we just go beat the fucking shit out of your parents that hit you. And there'd be a limitless number of clients, I'm finding out. Limitless. So, and hit me if I did. Fast forward a bit, and I got the job, but have been working there for roughly 8 months. The problem is the job has been really shitty, but I've put up with it so far because I'm paid all right until now. Recently, our boss cut our pays to under the legal minimum wage, which pissed me right off, but now they're starting to place me on shifts that I cannot do. We have this retarded policy where we need to work 2 closing nights a week, but they keep putting me on shifts I can't do during the week. I've told them this 1,000 times, they still place me on these retarded shifts. Anyway, I've got exams coming up for school in about 2 weeks, and they placed me on a shift the night before my exam, and I even emailed the owner saying I could not work the week before exams or around exam time. I also noticed my job has taken a massive toll on my education. I find it really difficult studying around work. I just feel that if I have a free weekend, I could study a whole lot more rather than only a few hours a day. Even though a lot of my shifts are night shifts, start at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. They get me to work until 1 a.m. in the morning. I usually go home really tired. I wake up the next day in the afternoon. I'll have to go to work again for the next few. Good fucking Lord. I've thought about quitting. I've asked my parents about their opinion on me quitting. They were completely unreasonable. I told them I wanted to quit to concentrate more on school, but they're not buying it. My mom doesn't want me to leave my job at all and started yelling at me when I even proposed the idea to her. My dad, on the other hand, was a tad bit more reasonable, but he told me the only way I'll quit my job is if I have something else lined up. I tried to tell my dad that I am leaving my work to concentrate more on my homework and school, and that getting another job defeats this purpose. He still wasn't buying it, is what he meant to say. Anyway, I need some help and some advice from my prompt. Can you tell me the right thing to do? Best regards. I won't mention your name. Well, here's the problem. I wish there was an easy solution. Oh yeah, just do this, and the problems will go away. You are in a very unfortunate position because pretty much all the adults in your world are fucking assholes. Okay? And I know this, honor thy mother and father, but no, your parents are being unreasonable. I understand they want you to get a work ethic. It sounds like you're Asian or not American because of the work ethic. You must come. We came to this country and when I was your age, and they are being completely unreasonable because here's the thing. Fuck working at fast food. If fast food is harming your education, that's about the worst trade-off you could possibly make because it's your education that's going to get you better jobs. And here you are, where I'm sure you're paid fine for fast food, but it's fast food, okay? And that is hurting your real long-term employment and income earning potential. And if your parents are too ignorant or proud or they just don't like you, or I don't know whatever it doesn't matter what the reason is, they're too stupid or they're too ignorant to realize that the solution is not going to be through them. Now, there is one kind of get out of jail free card in this, and that is your boss is paying you guys under the legal minimum wage. All right? So what I would do, report that shit to the goddamn authorities. You go right to whatever the labor board is, or I don't know who's in charge over in Australia there. Go right over to the authorities there, say, this guy's paying us on the minimum wage. I want a thing. And here's the other thing I do. If it's affecting your studies, I wouldn't even wait around. I mean, this would just be like, I mean, you're not going to put this on your resume. You know, no, this is not going to affect your future. No one even cares how long ago a place you worked 5 years ago. So it's not like this is going to give you a black mark on your old CV there and you'll never find a job again. So that's one advantage, is you don't need this job. So what I would do, go in and report it. The problem is, I would even say, when can I expect you guys to do an investigation on this? Because I have to work under these conditions. And if they say, we're going to get to this right away, okay, then maybe you tough it out in at this fast food joint. But the truth is, that doesn't resolve the issue that, again, the adults, your managers and the owners are saying, fuck you and not listening to you about your school. They're assholes. These are not, I don't say it because to make you feel better. These are evil fucking people. This is why I'm a misanthrope. They cannot look at a 16-year-old kid and say, you know, the really kind of key important thing is this kid's education, and you know, we know he's got school, and they're not even going to be accommodating. Have you told him multiple times? You've done everything you could. You know what? Fuck them. I quit. Go and deal with that over at your dad's place. You know, if your dad, go back and say, yeah, I quit. See what your parents do. What are they going to do? Yell at you? So what? They're going to yell at you. No, it's not going to be fun. It'll be emotionally draining, but I don't know. Maybe I just built up a tolerance. It's like, hey, they're just yelling at me. So fucking what? And if your dad hits you, then you go and you contact the child abuse authorities. That's what you do. Or if he threatens to, you say, Dad, you ever threaten to hit me again, I'll go straight to the authorities. And then, but see, here's the problem. You're already getting to the point where your parents might kick you out. But it's to the point where, you know, you're 16, and I've been seeing this coming in a ton. I don't know what happened the past 2 months, but I got all these. You guys aren't even adults. You poor 16, 17-year-old kids, and your parents are like, they're not supportive at all. They're not. And the sad reality is you may have to like just get out of the house before you're 18, which is a horrible situation to put a young person through. Horrible. But I'm not here to deal with what's good and what's bad and what's right and what's wrong and what's horrible. I'm here to deal with what is. And your situation is one where you cannot sacrifice your education, because that's going to be your key to getting. As long as you major in the right thing, don't major in some stupid ass bullshit. So that's your golden ticket. That's like you, man. That is you. That's how you're going to get your life. That's how you're going to make it in this world. Not just in education, but hard work and majoring in the right thing. And maybe just go work in the mines for a little bit. No one is supporting you in this endeavor. I think I don't know, your parents aren't really taking advantage of you. That's why I asked if they're asking you to give them money. You have very little support. I mean, basically they just pay for food, clothing, shelter. Well, maybe you might want to start thinking about a budget, because inevitably you're going to have to take a stand for yourself. Okay, you are. And you're not going to go work at the school or at the fast food joint anymore, because that's affecting the most important thing in your life, and that's your education and your future. So you have to, in self-respect, do that. Now, unfortunately, that's going to force a confrontation with your dad. And how you handle it is one thing. The wisest way, the best outcome is your dad and mom, they're going to lecture. They're going to fucking lecture. You aren't some kid on dope. You're not like the typical fucking American spoiled-ass cunt and whores and wenches and bitches and bearded fellows over here in the United States. Just like got everything fucking handed to them, and their parents are begging and pleading for them to like get a C+ average. You have your focus on your studies. You're very mature. You're doing all the right things, but your parents are not being supportive at all. So you're in the right, which means when they're yelling, yeah, you can ignore them. Okay, don't take it personally. It's going to be a great skill down the road to learn, but let it just roll off. Just ignore them, and don't hate them. They probably obviously came from some shitty ass third world country, and they think that you've gotten everything, but they don't understand the rock and the hard place there, and they're not being supportive. If your dad hits you, you go to the authorities. You go to the authorities, and then that lays it down as a new thing. That's not a family you should be in. Not at all. Not at all. And that, damn right. Someone hits you, you go to the fucking cops. I don't care if it's blood. Blood is not thicker than water. But realize once that happens, you're looking at foster care, you gotta go to some home, which may be better than what you're at now. I don't know. We didn't delve too much into your personal life. But it may come to that. It may. So that's why when this confrontation comes in, you have to diffuse it. You cannot respond angrily. If I can't see it, if you just calm and relax, you just, yeah, I know, okay, and you make your points. They'll refute your. It's like you say, but I can't work. I have to study, and they say you gotta get that job. It's like, okay, I'll look for a job first thing tomorrow, and if they say go back there and get that job, you say no, I'm not. Hold on to your ground. Hold on to your ground. I mean, and then, but diffuse the situation. Don't get violent. Certainly, you don't get violent. Try to make it so neither of your parents get violent with you. And just try and not rock the boat for the next 2 years. I mean, get your job. Try and find something that's a little more conducive to your studying. But if any one of them hits you, go right to the cops. Go right to the cops. Okay, that's what you do. And then you'll be on the offensive, and they'll put them on the defensive, and that opens up a whole new, different strategy where you start barking orders and you start telling them how it's going to go down. That's if they even let your dad around you if he pops you one. So, I'm sorry. I really feel bad for you kids. I don't know what the fuck. Well, I know what's going on. It's my fucking generation, the baby boomer generation. They're a bunch of fuck ups. Now we decided to spit out kids, and actually, but you guys are immigrants. I'm sorry. In this particular, everyone else seems to, but in this particular case, it sounds like you come from a third world country where your parents are just, we're so happy to be here, I'll beat you if you don't like it. So hang in there, kid. Best of luck. Toodles.